everybody, it's your girl Emma J, and I am super excited that you are joining me on this episode of Simple Healing. We're going to be talking about how to be okay in solitude and being alone, and how you can overcome that through affirmations and, of course, meditation. So a lot of people think that being alone or being in solitude means that you're depressed, you're lonely, you're weird, like you don't want to be around anybody, and that's not really the case. When you're alone, it's just knowing yourself. It's just being okay with being who you are. Not saying that you're always alone, but you're okay with being who you are. And the definition of solitude is the state or situation of being alone. The synonyms are privacy and peace. So that has nothing talking about being lonely or being depressed. It's literally the state of being alone, being in peace and being in privacy. And especially when it comes to meditation, a lot of people don't necessarily know or want to be sitting alone by themselves because there's so many thoughts that pop up. It'll be thoughts of super excitement that you haven't shared with anybody. It can be thoughts of like sadness, or it can be thoughts of situations that you haven't really dealt with. So a lot of people are like, oh, when I'm trying to meditate, so many things pop up in my head, I'm not going to think about it. Or I don't want to be alone. I don't want to sit here and confront these things that I haven't confronted or that I haven't dealt with. So I'm always going to do something. I'm always going to be around people. I'm always going to listen to what other people are saying. I'm always going to have another opinion other than mine, because what I'm dealing with is just too hard for me to actually sit down, be still, and talk about it. And that's crazy, because when you're 100% yourself, you can be opened up to so much more, y'all. Like, it can be a lot. So people really have like this fear of being alone. So that's why you always have that girlfriend or that guy friend who always has a boo. It's like, yo, like, you just got out of a relationship 2 weeks ago. 2 days ago, can you be still? Or you always have a friend who they might not be with the same group every time, but they're always with a group of people. You see them out. It's like, oh, these are my new friends, or oh, these are my new friends, or these are my old friends. It's just kind of like, can you just be by yourself? And people have this fear of even perception of being alone. Like, some people say, oh, I can't go to the movies by myself, or I can't go to dinner by myself because people are going to think I'm lonely. It's like, what? No. People don't even care that you sitting at that table alone or that you're watching a movie alone. We came to watch the movie, okay? Not to talk. Depending on what movie theater you're in, you might hear some talking. But you can't have that fear of being alone. Because when you actually take the time to be 100% yourself and to be still and to be alone, you can tap into so many things. You can tap into your imagination. You can tap into your creativity. You can tap into your day-to-day passions and activities. You can tap into your emotions and thoughts. And all of these things are something that you can tap into with other people, but you're always going to have that other opinion. You're always going to have that other thought. You're always going to have somebody saying, well, maybe you should do it this way. And it's like, no, this is my imagination. This is my creativity. This is how I want my day-to-day life to look like. This is my wholeness. And I want people to understand that wholeness is when you're 100% yourself. It's not when you're 50% yourself and 10% of your parents, or 10% of your sorors or frat, or 10% of your boo thing. It's like, no, you're 100% whole and you're 100% yourself. And you have to make sure that you can tap into all of those things that I just mentioned and be yourself and be okay with it. So some questions that we have to ask ourselves is, what is it that I'm afraid of to acknowledge? What is it that I'm afraid of that I can't just sit still and just think about my life, think about my day, and just be quiet, or just sit still and do something on my own by myself? What is it that I am scared to acknowledge? And another question is, why do I not want to be alone? People literally have a fear of being alone. But what is this fear that I have to be alone, to actually go into the store by myself, or to go to an event by myself, to go to a festival by myself? It's like, what is it that I have to fear to actually be alone? So one of the things that I want us to say is, I am whole. What does wholeness look like to you? Because you can't be whole when you're always with somebody else. Because even though that might be your loved one, might be your family member or your spouse or your partner or your best friend, you're always going to have another opinion. So it's always going to be 50-50 or whatever percentage it is, or however many people you're around. It's always going to be your opinion and theirs. But when you're by yourself, when you get that wholeness, it's 100% you. And you, when you a whole, when you whole, when you, not when you a whole, when you're a whole, it is amazing. One of the Bible verses that I have is Jeremiah 1:5, which says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. Right? So God is saying, I knew you before I formed you. He said, I knew the 100% you. So while you're out here in this world trying to figure out who am I, what am I going to do, what career am I supposed to be, if you turn to God, if you turn to that one, he already said, I knew you before I formed you. So we don't need to look for other things or always be around other people or try to find our wholeness somewhere. We just have to find it in God because he knew our wholeness, right? We're feeling broken right now, but if we turn to God, we're going to feel our wholeness. We also have Colossians 2:10. So you are also complete with your union with Christ, who is the head over every ruler and authority. Now, it didn't say you are also complete with your bae. It didn't say you are also complete with your best friend. It didn't say you are also complete with your mom. It didn't say you are also complete with your father. It says you are also complete with your union with Christ, right? So if we know that somebody already knew us, right, and we know that we're already complete with that person, which is God, we might as well go ahead and when we meditate, just kind of pray and ask God to say, hey, what is it that can make me whole? How can I be whole? How can I be happy being alone and being in solitude by myself? Because that is something, it is so beautiful, y'all. It is so beautiful when you can just kind of know yourself and be whole. So if you have any essential oil, you can just go ahead and just, put it on and just rub it. You have a candle. You can also have your journal. I'm going to turn up the music a little bit. So I want you to close your eyes, and I just want you to really be you. Be yourself. Now, if you don't know who you are, it is okay, right? Because that is what we're here in this world to do. We're here to figure things out. Think on those internal things, those good characteristics, the beauty that is inside of you, because beauty starts inside out. Wholeness is inside out. Now, of course, I want you to breathe. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Now breathe out. Now I want you to remember to say, I am whole. I'm going to say it with you. So breathe in. Breathe out, I am whole. I am whole. Okay, we're going to do it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. I am whole. Breathe in. I am whole. Breathe in. I am whole. Do you just feel maybe like rising, like the water filling up, something in you just becoming whole? That's a beautiful feeling, right? It's great. So breathe in. I am whole. And even if you're not really sure what your wholeness is, when you say it and you have these affirmations, that helps. That is building the foundation of your wholeness. We don't even know it yet, but words are so powerful. Okay, we're going to do this a couple more times. So breathe in. I am whole. Breathe in. 2 more times. Breathe in. I am whole. Take one really big, deep breath in. I am whole. Hi. How was that, y'all? Oh my gosh. I'm like, y'all know I like prep myself before. And this right here, this feeling is a beautiful feeling. It's like a peace. Like I said, solitude, the synonyms are privacy and peace. Okay? Don't you want some peace in your life? I want to say thank you so much for joining me for Simple Healing today. I'm just excited. So make sure you know that you are whole. Make sure you know that it's okay to be alone. It is okay to be in solitude. It is okay to be you. Okay? Now make sure you share this video on all of your platforms. Make sure you subscribe. Please comment. I really want to hear from you all. You can follow me on Instagram at @FromEmmaJ. You can also follow Simple Healing on Instagram at @simple_healing. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye.